Does your community or nation have someone they trust as a spokesperson during a crisis? The role of a spokesperson is to give your community a face and a voice to speak on behalf of the nation to the media, to the public, and members. The purpose of selecting a spokesperson is to have control over the narrative of the crisis. Although you should purposefully select a spokesperson for your community, it's important to recognize that every single leader or member of the community should be treated as an unofficial spokesperson because you have to assume they have access to social media. They have an experience within the event. They are going to talk about it informally and formally. So you want to make sure that as your team develops its crisis communications plan and its strategies and objectives, that it realizes there's going to be other people from the community out there talking about their narrative, which can easily get taken over as the nation's narrative. It's also for this reason that we highly recommend that nations have an employee crisis communication policy, because it will outline how and in which ways employees should communicate internally and externally regarding the crisis. But when you're choosing a spokesperson, what do you want to consider? So a primary consideration is the credibility of the person with the audience, with, more importantly, your members, your elders, your youth. Is it someone who they can trust? It may not always be the chief and council. And you want to limit the number of official spokespersons because more can often lead to less control over the narrative, especially if they're all feeling like they can go out at the same time and talk. Also, fewer spokespersons will decrease the likelihood of contradicting and inconsistent messaging. So it's really important to weigh the benefits and the challenges with having multiple spokespersons in your community. But one way that you could get around that is you could have a contact list of subject matter experts who can act as a spokesperson for specific situations or hazards. So for example, if it has to do with a power outage, maybe it's the public works manager who's the spokesperson. Or if you've got a boil water advisory, maybe it's public works again with water treatment supervisor. So regardless of what the event is, you want to have that list of reputable subject matter experts that even the spokesperson can bring with them to an interview or ask questions to get some technical details. Once you've identified the spokesperson, you've got to make sure they're prepared for their role. Being a spokesperson is really tricky. You've got to be in front of a camera. You've got to be in front of news reporters who don't really care about you or your community or the event. All they care about is a good news story. And they're going to try to ask questions and frame things in a way that may not necessarily meet your priorities or your communications priorities. Crises are highly stressful situations, and they require people who can give clear, accessible, trustworthy information. Training can also get someone to interact with audiences in different ways. You need someone who can go out and build trust with elders and youth and families and children. So making sure that you've got spokesperson training with media training, so important. If you found value in this video, like, subscribe, share it so others like you can come across it. Thanks for listening.